Hey there again, Scrapping Games fans, how are we all? I'm back with another 12 by 12 layout for you today. This one is for the Anna's Craft Cupboard August Sketch Challenge, which you can see right there. This was a really good fun challenge to work with. I really liked it actually. Yeah, well there's my 3 photos and this is the paper I'm using. So a bit of pattern paper that came in my Kitaholic kits for this month. I think it was a Pebbles Girls Squad one, maybe it's called. Right, so this is my exciting part. I was very proud of this bit. So I've decided that this was a scrap bit of white cardstock that I accidentally sort of just pulled out of my stash that was I had kept, obviously for whatever reason, for this reason. So I have decided to go with some watercolours. So I'm just using my water brush and am just lightly spreading over some of 3 different colours. Yeah, 3 different colours, watercolours here. So just a pale pink, this orange, and then I go with another blue. So I don't have a pattern to it or anything like that. They're just sort of going in sort of 3 stages, I guess. I'm just smushing it around, adding some water, and just, spreading across this small piece. And I sort of went light to sort of a lighter sort of to a darker kind of colour. So I went that real pale pink to a bit of an orange, then, to the blue. Then what I decided to do. So I then get my little misty bottle there of water, and I'm just spraying it and just going to move the watercolour around the cardstock. Now, I can't remember if I may have gessoed this because I don't think I was sure if it was the basil marshmallow one that would normally withstand some sort of mixed media on it. So I probably gessoed it off camera. So yeah, and now I'm just going to use my heat gun just to move those water drips around, just to give it a bit of a drippy droppy kind of pattern. So there you go, you can see it's not perfect, it's a nice mixed media mess. Now to get those circular patterns in the background of the sketch, I am using some texture paste, that little Kaisercraft mini design stencil there, and this metallic purple coloured gelato. I picked the colours sort of from the photo as such, and I knew that the purple would never turn out like really dark because it was going to mix in with that texture paste. My God, can talk. So just using my palette knife there, and I am just going to push that through the stencil, nice and thick, give it a bit of texture. And I picked the purple too, not only because of the colours, but because I knew it would pop off that watercolour background. So the watercolour background, sort of that softer colour, and this now then becomes a bit more of a bold colour, make it stand out a little bit, which you probably will laugh at a little bit when you realise that I cover it up somewhat with the photos. But I wasn't sure how I was going to do it exactly. I had an idea, but I just wanted to make sure there was plenty. Now I had some texture paste, you can see there, so I've just got my art journal out. Now I'm new to art journaling, and I'm just going to use up the rest of that texture paste just to spush really roughly through this stencil. And that's that. I didn't worry too much about that because you'll see that in another video at some point, I'm sure. Alright, so what I'm doing here is just laying down where I want this to sit. And I'm using that pattern paper obviously as my sort of backing. So what I've done there is just measuring out the photos as to how far across the page they will go, so I could tell where I could embellish, put my title, everything. I just wanted to make sure that white cardstock, everything was really perfectly dry before I started sticking things down, and I wanted to make sure it was exactly the way I wanted it. So yeah, I am just now going to go through my little ephemera pieces there. Now these are all from my main kit for August, for Kitaholic kits. And my mind has gone blank as to who they're by. I have to think about it. And if you really do want to know, I can let you know. I'm going to say it's this Pebbles brand. I think the collection is called Girl Squad. I could be completely wrong. But hey, you can always check out the Kidaholic Kits page to see exactly what was in there, because Steph puts up each month what we get, what the kits are. So if you can order them, become a subscriber, whatnot. Alright, so I decided that with the journaling side of things here we go. I didn't just want those white pieces just sitting, floating sort of on that background there, on that pattern paper. So I decided to use a pink doily here, just cut in half, just to give it a bit of grounding. The oh my goodness, I cannot talk. The journaling pieces, some grounding, so they're not, as I said, just floating around everywhere. And that doily's just from my stash. Looking for the date, that would be what I was just doing there. So while I'm journaling here and whatnot, so the pictures you see here is the top one is a Friday in, I think, the first week of the school holidays, and I ordered from Anna's Craft Cupboard. My daughter, there was a Paw Patrol, she's mad on Paw Patrol, and there was a Paw Patrol scrapbooking kit for kids. So it was awesome. So I've never seen one like it before, nor have I seen a lot of, scrapbooking stuff. So I ordered it for her, and it arrived on this Friday. So it was great. Fridays are my days off, and so we were going to have a scrappy day. Then my niece, who you can see in the photo with my little one, the last two photos, come over as well that day, and Hannah, my daughter, decided to teach Holly, my niece, how to scrapbook. So she was giving her a scrapping class. It was absolutely adorable, and she was using her kit that she got, and she was very proud that she got a kit, just like Mummy gets. And yeah, so it was really good, and it was really appropriate to, I thought, use these photos for the Anna's Craft Cupboard challenge for the month. Alright, so just checking, and now I'm just going to start sticking these big main pieces down. So as I said, usually what I do with the sketch challenge now is I go and try and make sure I, am locking away all the key elements to the sketch, and then I just sort of play with it. So take the inspiration from it, use the key sort of skeleton of it, and then I play with it myself as such, like add my bits and pieces to embellish the page. Now I am just using double-sided tape just to stick this down onto the pattern paper. It's held, I'm looking at the layout right now, it's not in a sleeve, it's been sitting out of the sleeve since I did this a few weeks, 2 weeks ago, week ago, whatever it was. Yeah, and it's stuck down quite well, so I've had no issue with it. I was really pleased with how this turned out, really, really pleased actually. I hope you guys like it as well and can take some inspiration from it. But I really liked that, the watercolour with the texture paste. I think it just ended up getting it to click really well, so I was pretty happy. So just, as I said, fiddling around with the placement of photos. Did I put them on? I wanted to make sure that some of that purple still was able to be seen, and you can see some of the purple under the photos as well, like there's a small gap between them. Yeah, I just applied wet glue to the back of each of the photos and have just stuck them down, making sure they're really stuck. Again, it's a heavy mixed media background as such, so I am using a wet glue to make sure it stays stuck for years to come, ideally. Alright, and you can see there, as I've got my journaling tags there I've written on, and I've already done the title, which is called Got Kitted, because she got a kit. Whoops, bit of a fail here. So I was going to forgot that I was going to put the frame in underneath, and I really liked the frame, so I decided that I was just going to stick it there and make it like a bit of an embellishment piece, cluster kind of thing. So I didn't waste any time in this bit committing to how I was going to have things stuck. Once, as I said, I got those main elements down, embellishing the page, I just went, yep, this is what I like. I'd pulled out my pieces and this was what goes, so that's how I'm going to go with it. So that frame at the bottom has in gold writing, best day ever, because she thought it was the best day ever. I'm sure there's many of those, but you know, for that day it was the best day. And I'm just using some foam tape just to pop up this little speech bubble that just says yay, this little red speech bubble, just to bring it up and away from the frame being flat against the pattern paper. I actually really like the piece, all the embellishment pieces that are in this little pack. They're very pretty. So I must admit, I've so far used the kit for my daughter's or stepdaughter layouts, so girl layouts. So maybe I should challenge myself before I finish it off to try and use it for a boy one, but it is aimed at girls really. So yeah, just popping everything down, using some double-sided tape. This little tag piece says, let's do this. That other big green floral one that I just put down, it says, happy girls are the prettiest. And as I said, that day she was very happy. She was very proud. And so once it came, we unpacked her kit and my kit came the same day. We had to scrapbook, so that's what we started doing. It's very sweet. Right, as I said, as you can see here, this isn't part of the sketch, but I'm just adding my own bits to, yeah, make it my own, I guess. Kind of personalise it. Glue got everywhere. It was driving me nuts. This glue sometimes is my worst enemy on layouts. I can either never get it open because it blocks shut, or it goes everywhere. All right, these are the little phrase stickers as well. I popped down the bottom. That's what I'm doing now. And one says, that top one says, like mother, like daughter, and the other one says, you are my sunshine. So you'll be able to see, should be able to see all that in the close-ups anyway, which are coming up very shortly. So just some Chamel enamel pieces, dots, whatever you want to call them, because they're different shapes. So I sort of built, I guess you could say, a cluster around that journaling there. I add these and then yes, so in the kit as well we got these little acrylic shapes. I think that's what they are, from Corbett Creations. And yeah, so I'm just going to play around up here in this frame as to what I liked the look of. And I end up settling on just that aqua colour star, which moves around a little bit, but I end up, yeah, committing it to the top. So I hope you've enjoyed this layout. I really enjoyed doing this one. As I said, I was really impressed at how it managed to turn out. So I will pop you some close-ups. Now pop on over to the Anna's Craft Cupboard blog to see their challenge for the month. And by all means jump in and have a play. It's always great to play with sketches. And yeah, as usual, if you enjoyed my video, please like and subscribe for some more scrappy fun. And I will see you next time. Bye.